Wind scrapes the tundra clean. A dark line of bodies turns as one toward approaching shapes, hooves set, horns forward, breath smoking in the cold. Calves vanish into a living center. The line thickens, curves, and locks into a ring, each flank sealed by a neighbor's weight. A wolf tests the edge and recoils. Another feints, looking for daylight that isn't there. This is a Musk ox defense circle in motion, a shield built from instinct and proximity, the Arctic's answer to speed. No orders fly on the air. Only a hush, a snow hiss, and the sense that a wall has risen where none stood before. Across the polar barrens of Greenland, Canada, and Alaska, and along Arctic Siberia, a heavy herbivore endures wind that razors skin and light that swings from all to none. Adults weigh 400 kilograms. 440 was 880 pounds. A dense underwool, qiviut, traps heat. Long guard hair sheds snow and sleet. Herds often number 10 to 20, swelling and shrinking with season. Calves drop in late spring. Rutting clashes crack the air in late summer. Wolves are the chief danger. Bears probe when calves are small. When threats close, a shield appears. The anchor earns its name, Musk Ox Shield Wall, an Arctic herd that fights as one, turning vulnerability into design. Here is the paradox. How do musk oxen coordinate defensive formations without vocal commands? Observers record rapid transitions. Grazing animals coalesce into a ring or crescent in seconds. Adults face outward, horns aligned along the threat axis. Calves compress into the center like a slow tide. The geometry flexes with terrain. On flats, the circle is clean. On slopes or in brush, it morphs into a semicircle pressed against drifted banks or rocks. Field notes describe diameters from 5 to 15 meters, 1650 feet, with adults shoulder to shoulder, gaps filled by sideways stances. While forming, individuals stamp, snort, and toss heads, but there is no obvious command call. In high wind, sound dies at a few meters. In whiteouts, visibility shrinks to shapes and motion. Yet the wall holds. When wolves split to divide attention, the ring splits, then reforms around two centers, a maneuver that reads rehearsed but leaves no leader to name. When the herd must move, the circle loosens into a rolling line with calves in a moving pocket, then tightens again when pressure spikes. It is musk ox predator defense that looks choreographed and remains untraceable at the level of a single signal. Evidence suggests several layers at work. One hypothesis points to local interaction rules. Each adult tracks nearest neighbors and the threat vector, matching orientation and distance until a stable ring emerges. Similar algorithms explain bird flocks and fish schools. Here, the output is a static fortress rather than a flowing shape. The trade-off is sensitivity. In blizzard glare, misread angles could open a seam before it is seen. A second hypothesis highlights social memory and role bias. Experienced cows with calves may drift centerward sooner. Mature bulls tend to anchor gaps and face down feints. Calves cue to the belly fringe of adults and the shadow of horns, learning the map in weeks that matter. If a key individual falls or panics, the wall's latency rises. A third hypothesis invokes multimodal cues beyond voice. Shoulder pressure and flank contact travel faster than air. Touch communicates close and hold. Hoof thuds and low-frequency snorts may pulse through snow as vibrations. Scent state could flag arousal. None of these alone is sufficient. Together, they produce Arctic herd behavior tuned for speed and stability. A muskox defense circle when stationary, a crescent when retreat is prudent, a pivot into a line when movement is the only herd survival strategy. Scientists still debate which cues initiate, which maintain, and how much is learned versus inherited. The math is elegant. The field remains messy. Midwinter, a drone sees wolves fan into a textbook spread. The herd contracts. One adult steps into a gap, another rotates to match horn angles. The whole ring inches to firmer ground. Seconds pass. The wolves test, circling, then peel away toward easier prey. From above, the choreography looks simple. On the ground, it depends on wind, ice crust, calf position, and the courage of whoever is facing teeth today. This is Arctic wildlife teamwork, without a plan on paper, rewriting what we thought we knew about coordination in silence. The herd resumes grazing as if the danger had vanished, only churned snow betraying the standoff. Dusk flattens the land. Shadows lengthen from shaggy backs. The wall loosens. Calves nose through legs and lie down. The question lingers like frost in the beard. Can cooperation be the ultimate weapon in the wild? The shield wall forms, dissolves, and forms again. An answer built from bodies, not words. Perhaps the code lives where we cannot see it, in thresholds, in practice, in a logic printed into muscle and nerve. The Arctic keeps its counsel. The herd keeps its circle. And the mystery endures. A living fortress that appears on cue, holds the line, and leaves only hoof marks to explain how.